Reclaim your time, reclaim your life. What if I told you that every second you've spent chasing a woman who didn't care was a second stolen from your life? That every sleepless night, every ounce of energy you poured into someone who couldn't see your worth wasn't an investment, but a debt you'll never recover? From the moment you were old enough to understand love, you were fed a lie. That passion means pursuit, that love is something you must earn, that chasing after someone who doesn't see you is somehow noble. But what if, for just a moment, you stopped? What if you realised that all of this, the turmoil, the confusion, the endless second-guessing, wasn't a test of your worth, but a distraction? One of life's greatest truths is this: your time is your most valuable asset. It's the one thing you will never get back. And yet, how many men waste weeks, months, or even years running after someone who will never return the same effort? It's time to wake up. There's a lesson in this pain if you're willing to see it. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. If today was your last day, would you be content with how you spent your time? Or would you regret all the energy wasted on people who never truly valued you?" Too many men fall into the trap of believing that love and affection must be chased, that they must prove themselves worthy of being chosen. But that's not love. That's need, and need is dangerous. Real strength comes from within, from knowing your worth so deeply that no one can make you feel small. From detaching, letting go of the false belief that your happiness depends on someone else's validation. So what if you stopped searching? What if you stopped wasting your time on the wrong people and started living with real purpose? What if, instead of seeking approval, you started treating your time as the sacred resource it truly is? This is your moment to break free. These next 5 lessons will strip away every illusion, every false belief, and put you on the path to reclaiming your life. They aren't for the weak. They aren't for those who want to stay trapped in self-doubt and unnecessary pain. But if you're ready to stop wasting time and start living with purpose, stay with me, because these lessons won't just change how you see women. They'll change how you see yourself. And once that happens, everything else will fall into place. Before we continue, hit the like button below. This isn't just a simple click, it's a commitment to stop tolerating what destroys you. Comment on what resonates with you most. What lesson do you wish you had learned sooner? Share this video with those still trapped in toxic cycles. And most importantly, subscribe now, because what you're about to hear will change how you see others, and more importantly, how you see yourself. Most men ignore. If you're tired of wasting time, of chasing after things that don't serve you, then it's time to wake up. If you're ready to reclaim your focus, your dignity, and your power, listen closely, because these truths will change how you see yourself and the world around you. 1. If she's not choosing you, stop choosing her. You weren't born to be an afterthought. You weren't made to be someone's backup plan. Yet here you are, bending over backward for a woman who barely acknowledges your existence. You fight for her attention, beg for her time, and shrink yourself, hoping she'll finally see your worth. But she won't. A woman who truly values you will never make you question where you stand in her life. She won't leave you in the shadows, won't string you along with weak excuses, and won't toss you breadcrumbs of affection just to keep you hooked. Love isn't a puzzle to solve. A man who respects himself doesn't chase illusions. A stoic man walks away from anything that insults his dignity. He doesn't beg. He doesn't plead. He doesn't bargain for a place at someone else's table. He builds his own. If she can't see your value, then let her go. Every second wasted chasing someone who doesn't want you is a second stolen from your own greatness. You are not a beggar, not a stray dog waiting to be thrown scraps of validation. Stop knocking on locked doors when the entire world is open to you. Stop setting yourself on fire just to keep someone else warm. Walk away, not with bitterness, not with resentment, but with the quiet strength of a man who knows exactly who he is and what he deserves. 2. Attention is not affection. She laughs at your jokes, likes your posts, replies to your texts just enough to keep you engaged. And for a fleeting moment it feels like something, like maybe she cares, like maybe you matter. But let's be honest, that's not love. That's not even interest. That's a game. A woman who genuinely wants you won't toy with your time. She won't keep you at arm's length while giving you just enough to keep you orbiting around her. Too many men confuse attention with affection. They mistake a glance for devotion, a laugh for connection, a text for effort, and that mistake costs them their dignity. The Stoics teach us to judge actions, not words, not emojis, not social media likes. If a woman's actions don't align with her words, she's not confused. She's keeping you around for validation, for an ego boost, for the power of knowing you'll always be there. But the moment you stop feeding that, she disappears, like she was never there. A high-value man understands this. Real love isn't a puzzle to decode. It's clear, it's certain, it's undeniable. If you have to constantly analyse mixed signals, you already have your answer. No answer. You weren't made to be a background character in someone else's story. You weren't built to be an option. Respect yourself enough to walk away from confusion, inconsistency, and anything that forces you to question your worth, because a man who values himself doesn't chase illusions, he commands reality. 3. Lust will make you weak. How many men have thrown away their future for a woman they barely knew? How many kings have fallen, warriors have crumbled, and empires have shattered because a man let his desires control him? Lust is a drug, and most men are addicts. They mistake hunger for love, addiction for devotion. They chase the high, the fleeting thrill, only to wake up in chains. You think you're in control? Look closer. Your desires lead you like a puppet on strings. You justify reckless decisions, you risk your future, your reputation, your very soul. For what? A moment, a body, a fantasy that fades the second it's over? The Stoics warned us, a man ruled by his urges is no man at all. He's a slave to impulse, a dog chasing a bone, a fool trading his destiny for temporary pleasure. But a man who masters his desires, he is untouchable. He walks through the fire of temptation and emerges unscathed. He doesn't kneel before lust. He doesn't throw away his purpose for passing pleasure. He builds, he conquers, he rules, because he rules himself first. Master your impulses, or they will master you, because here's the harsh truth. One moment of weakness can cost you years of progress. One reckless choice can destroy everything you've built. Be stronger than your urges. Be wiser than your temptations. Walk away from anything that weakens you, because the man who owns himself owns the world. Build a life that stands on its own 4. She can leave any time, so build a life that doesn't fall apart without her. She swore she loved you. She whispered forever. She held your face in her hands, looked into your eyes, and made you believe she'd never go. And then one day she did. No warning, no explanation that made sense, just cold indifference where warmth used to be. Now you stand in the ruins trying to understand how someone who once called you her world could walk away as if you meant nothing. Here's the truth. She could always leave. She just finally did. Too many men make the fatal mistake of building their identity around a woman. They pour everything into the relationship, making her their sun, their center, their purpose, not realizing they're gambling with everything. And when she walks away, they collapse, they spiral, they become shadows of the men they once were, because they built their entire existence around someone who was never guaranteed to stay. A Stoic man doesn't make this mistake. He does not build his empire on shifting sand. His foundation is his discipline, his purpose, his mission. He understands that love should add to his life, not be the reason for it. A woman can be his partner, his lover, his greatest connection, but never his lifeline. Because if she is your whole world, what happens when she leaves? You're left with nothing, and no man should ever put himself in that position.